DA, and then just that stance of him saying he believes this is the end. He believes there was a nationalism agenda, 1994, and that with these elections last year, it was black people saying, we don't want African nationalism.
I think I'm more inclined to believe that then, is he saying nationalism is being replaced by what? Tribalism.
He says nationalism should be replaced by, and he believes we're moving in the right direction, multiculturalism, which is what the DA stands for.
Okay. Multiculturalism.
He references Trump. He says Trump is actually a good example of the dangers of nationalism because it incites hate. It is
that might be because he's not a Trump fan.
Sure.
So that's he's operating from a premise that the Trump presidency is bad, I suppose.
He also doesn't like the ANC.
Oh, I know he doesn't like the ANC. No. But he doesn't like the ANC for other reasons, valid, objective ones, where he says things like, we used to have a production economy under apartheid. And what the ANC needed to do is come in, train and upskill people to take over that production economy so that we could keep producing most of the stuff we used to produce. Right? Makes sense? Instead, we have, under the ANC, built a consumption economy where we've got the highest paid public servants in the world, bar none.
Relative, percentage-wise.
Yes, percentage-wise. No, of course, percentage-wise. And he's saying it doesn't make sense for a country that's where we are to be paying our public officials what we are paying them, plus the perks that come with the job. He's just like, we shouldn't be playing that game at all, but we've been playing it for 30 years, and despite the fact that it is destroying us, nobody in power or in charge wants to give up that for the betterment of the nation. The other thing that he speaks about is, I actually stole, from him, my whole stance on, the skills development thing like we discussed on the last show. It's one of the points that he raised where he said, you don't just throw away people who've got skills. You don't just chase them. You don't just say, please leave. And you don't just say, give me what you've got. I'm taking over now. You need to utilize those skills because skills are rare. Skills, talent. These are things we need to utilize for the betterment of the entire country.
And protect and preserve.
Yes. Now, under a nationalism banner, like put America first, Trump is saying America for all Americans. Bring back American jobs. Bring back American manufacturing. Bring back American energy. And make America great again. Okay, what it's going to do with his tariffs that he's implementing and his foreign policy agenda, he is trying to strengthen America where he's playing this deal-making game with the EU, with China, with Canada, with all the countries that he's threatened tariffs against to say, okay, guys, we can play this game, but you're going to start giving us a better deal or else let's see who breaks first. America is stronger than all other nations. You understand? You're going to get into one of those legal battles like we mentioned earlier, where you're going to run out of resources before Vodacom, my brother. Take the deal. You understand?
Huge trigger that.
Okay? But you understand? That's the game they're playing.
Yeah.
Fortunately for him, he's got the backing. But if he didn't have the backing, that man would have settled for 5 bars 10 years ago. Because you're going to run out of money. You cannot go up against this giant. America is that giant.
Has it been
and
20
most
years?
countries...
Makati.
Almost.
Been a long time, sorry.
It's been a long time. At least that's about 20 years now. Most of these countries that Trump is in these tariff battles with, right? They know that if we go into this thing of playing a game of chicken, we're going to lose. Canada knew they're going to lose, they reneged. France knew they're going to lose, they said, aye. All of them.
You think they've reneged? I see Canada fighting back.
Cool story, bro.
No, I'm just saying, I don't know about reneged.
What I'm saying is...
But I hear what you're saying.
Okay, let me use a better example like Mexico.
Sure.
Panama. The man said...
Those are same time. They'll agree to the deal same time. But those ones have no choice.
Because they're even smaller.
Yeah, 100%.
Now France and them, Canada, they have to act strong. They have to act tough.
They're coming together. I don't know if you've seen.
No.
EU and Canada are actually revolting against Trump.
Let them.
No, I hear you.
Yes. You know what's going to happen? They will lose. Because America is a very, very powerful nation. Now, back to Trump's policy of America first. If we had to start putting South Africa first, right? That would mean all of our focus is on employment generation, right? We need jobs. And we need to bring back the things that made us strong. So we've got this amazing rail network that's fallen to pieces. Why is that rail network there? It's there to get shit from point A to point B in the cheapest and most efficient way. Why are we not fixing it so that we can move stuff around?
And they're all linked. If you think about, if you fix the railway, you lessen the accidents that are taking place on the road. You are lessening the amount of fixing that has to take place. You're
because that road transport thing is ruining us.
There's an actual link of how much money you can save just from putting back the rail.
Now, instead of doing that, what are they doing? Look at the priorities of the ruling party, of the governing party. I just don't see a restoration of the rail infrastructure being one of those priorities. But we can all agree here that if we have to restore that, it takes a massive strain off the roads. You understand? These are the benefits that it comes with. That's it. And this is what it does for the economy, number one. Number two, Metal Steel is closing there, or is already closed. You know, the big steel manufacturer in Vaal. Because what do we do?
Newcastle.
Yeah, why? Ngoba we import cheap steel. You see, that's not good. We import cheap steel, we've destroyed that whole industry.